tuning in to another episode of Rusted Up Garage. This ain't really the episode I wanted to bring you. But, we're all family. I'm straight shooting with you guys. And, I wait until there's, no cars going by, and then the loud ones decide to come by as soon as I start, because that's just, we're just making live video here, okay? That's what we're doing. But it comes with deep sorrow to me to have to even tell you guys this, but I have to. The 55 is not going to make Power Tour. Despite all efforts by us, it's just not going to happen. It's out of my hands, unfortunately. The engine's still not done. The engine hasn't been finished machined. The transmission hasn't been finished. And at very best, it would be the end of next week before I saw these parts. And the engine ain't gonna be together. It's just gonna be machined. I know, it's been, we sent the motor out 4 months ago. And we've been waiting on the transmission for 8 months. It's just how it is now. Those of you in racing, and you guys can understand this. It just, again, it's completely out of our control, and it saddens me deeply because we have busted our butt trying to get this car ready. And it is ready. I mean, look at it. We put it on all its wheels. We actually took it off the lift. We brought it outside here, washed it off. I mean, it's we'll be doing the radiator fan episode coming up here pretty soon. That'll probably be in another week or so. We're still going to keep working on it. We got to finish up the little odds and ends. But by the time I got the motor and then I got it assembled and got it in the car, we still need to make a drive shaft. We still got to make exhaust. We still got to tune it. Remember, it's all fuel injected. There's just too many variables, and we're stacked into 2 weeks. Plus, I have a real job, people. This is not what I get paid to do. We don't have nowhere near the following for YouTube to pay for me to be able to just do YouTube. We don't make anything because we only have 105 subscribers.
106 today.
106 today. Look at that, 106 today. So that's awesome, and I thank all 106 of you and everyone else who watches. But that don't mean we're not going on Power Tour. It just means we're not bringing the 55. So what are our options, you ask? That is a very good question. We have 2 or 3 or 6 more options of stuff that needs to be built or not done, or do we take the truck? Maybe you guys should comment down below. Kind of give us an idea. What do you think we should do? Should we just go find a car? I'm sorry, it's hot and I'm sweating right in my eyeballs, and it is stinging like a bee. But, like I said, so today's content won't be 55. Just trucks. Live video. We're actually going to do a little service on my truck, which will be coming up here in just a minute. And, but I just wanted to let you guys know that the 55 is not going to make it. It can't. But it's not my fault. I apologize. I did my best. I've been pushing the engine guy. He just can't. It just didn't happen. We run out of time for it. The good news is when we do get the engine in a couple weeks, I can get it together, and I won't be rushing. I don't want to. We've gone this far, and I just don't want to rush the last end of it and have stuff mess up. It's just not worth it. There's a lot of money getting involved in the motor and the transmission, and we just don't need to blow it right on a 1,200-mile trip and mess something up. It's just, to me, it's just not worth it. So we're going to come up with another plan. I'm just not sure what that is, guys. But you guys will definitely be along for the ride for whatever we do next. And I just don't know what that's going to be. We have some options. Is what I'm trying to say. But let's move on to the video at hand. And we'll talk more about this Power Tour thing on a future episode. And welcome to another episode of Rusted Up Garage. Today, as you can see, we have a different project in here. And I know you guys watched the intro. Sorry that was a little bit long-winded, but I just really wanted to get that out to you. Today, we're going to be working on the 2017 Chevy Silverado 3500. And Mason is gonna be my helper today. Say hi, Mason.
Hi, Mason.
What are we gonna be doing with this bad boy, you may ask? Because, I mean, well, I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna change her oil. Why? Because when I bought her, you know, it came oil changed. It's got a CarCraft oil filter in it, which we'll show you. So we're gonna be putting the old Wix filter on her. And then we're gonna be putting the old AMSOIL Signature Series diesel engine oil. This stuff is really good engine oil. And it lasts for like 850,000 miles. No, don't, I'm just joking. Just joking. But anyways, really good oil. If you need this, you can check out our website at Rusted Up Garage, and there's a link. My son's a dealer, so there's a little plug for Zach. So that's the oil change. That's the easy part. But the real important thing we're doing here, this is probably the most important thing ever, is we're going to be installing this guy right here. Okay? And you may be asking yourself, what exactly do you need a little aluminum plug with an O-ring on it for? Well, let me tell you, okay? What this right here is, and I'm gonna bring out this paperwork right here to show you how awesome this paperwork is. Okay, so this right here, okay, this comes from Ryan's Diesel. If you haven't checked out Ryan's Diesel Service, they are the king of the transmissions, the turbos, the transfer cases. Between Kodiak Truck and Ryan's Diesel Service, they're the people to see. So, little plug for them. And but what this does, and it's cool because they send you this, and they send you these instructions. And look at that, they even print in color. I mean, these people, they don't even, I mean, they give you, it's a detail. They're drawing what you need to do. They give you the instructions. They give you their number. If you need to call them, you call them right here. It says so right here. Questions, please call. But, so they give you all this information in color, which, I mean, how many companies nowadays print color and send them to you? Ryan's Diesel Service does. So what this does, okay, this is an EPC fooler, is what this guy is. And it goes in between the solenoid in your transmission. So, like when you're driving down the road, what happens is your transmission drops down to like 80 PSI, okay, in pressure. So when it's shifting, it's not shifting at full pressure, which, you know, on these L5Ps around 230 PSI is what they run at. So what this little guy does is it keeps the transmission pressure up at 230 PSI instead of that 80. So it's more pressure on them clutches, which more pressure on the clutches is what? Good. It's good. More powerful.
No,
it's good.
It's good.
It's good. It's good. Okay, it's good. It just keeps the transmission together better, okay? Because it's keeping the pressure up when it's shifting, especially when you're pulling a load. Because you got a, you know, big old trailer behind this sucker, and you're really giving her the catch up, especially because, you know, we got the full bank set up in this thing, so she'll basically park the tires off with a trailer on the back and these big tires. This right here is going to really help it. So then the next thing we're going to do, I mean, so we got to drop the pan to put this in, and you got the call instructions to do it, is we went ahead and picked up this extra deep pan. So it comes with a transmission external filter from PPE, and it comes with the extra deep filter to go with the pan. Now, we actually got this from Truckmaster. He has a YouTube channel, and he does diesel trucks. That's what he does. He's a Duramax guy. He does this stuff. Definitely check out his channel. It's a great channel to watch. He's very at home in a little shop making stuff happen. So go check out, that's a different guy. Whew, sorry, Truckmaster. And there'll be a link in the old beat log. But anyways, so he sells these. He's a dealer for PPE. So just go see his site, and it's obviously truckmaster.com. And again, beep booping right there. But this thing has all the fins. It has a drain. It even has the bungs if you want to run temperature sensors or whatever other sensors you want to run. And then inside, this thing is all finned inside too. So she'll really do the cooling compared to the stock ones. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the fluid drained out of the transmission. We're going to get the transmission pan down, get that all cleaned up. And then once we get that done, and make that big mess, we are going to go ahead and install this guy, and we'll bring you along for all of that. Show you where it all goes, where it all plugs. Then we'll put the whole thing back together, put some new transmission fluid in it, although we are going to save the old stuff. But we're going to put some new transmission fluid in it, and obviously change your oil. And this thing should be ready to do some pulling. We're hoping that this ain't plan C of the Power Tour, because we had to do that for the last event, and that's not what we wanted to do. But this is one of the plans. I think this is C or D or maybe E. It's one of them, but we're hoping not to go there. So, without further ado, we're going to crawl up underneath this thing, and we're probably going to turn the fans on, because, again, Alabama, hot. Let's get after this sucker, Mason. So, first things first is we're going to start the drain on the transmission. So what we got ourselves is a cat bucket, because cats are great for putting transmission oil in. So the automatic transmission plug is what?
15 millimeters.
15 M&Ms.
15 M&Ms.
Okay? So we're going to start off by draining this and making a mess.
You should probably consider putting on
Why
gloves.
consider kicking that down just a whisker so it's not blowing up here.
No,
Just turn it, leave on high. Whew. Just angle it, there you go, so it's hitting the floor.
That way it's not creating wind up there to blow the transmission fluid all over the place.
Looky there, you didn't get any on your hands.
That almost looks like new.
Yeah,
How does it taste?
smells. I'd say probably about 80,000 miles is what it tastes like to me. Not burn at all.
Any clutch material?
No, it's pretty good. You want to try it?
Some good. I'm trying to save on it.
Some fresh? Taste it. What do you think? About 80,000?
Give or take.
Mm-hmm. Do you taste clutch material?
So what?
Do you taste any clutch material? No?
You can't like.
No gritty at all.
No, it's not like I'm eating on some sandpaper.
It's good.
That's good. That's what you want.
That's what we want. So now what we need to do is probably get on this size right here, which I'm guessing is probably like a 13 or 12 mils. And we're probably going to want to go ahead and just put that right on an air gun. So now what Mason's going to do is he's going to grab this impact on a 13 millimeter, and he's going to run around this pan, and he's going to pull out all of these bolts right here. So the pan's off.
You're gonna overflow it.
So there. Now there's the dipstick right there. See? It says it's empty.
Yeah, it says it's low on transmission fluid.
It's low right now on transmission. So now the filter just pulls down like this. Just drain him out a little bit.
Tip him the other way.
Get him underneath here like this. Okay. We're actually going to play drippy drip for a bit. So it is this top one right here. Okay. So there's actually an 8mm socket. I need an 8mm socket to get in here, I think, or a wrench or something small, and then we can pull out that And you can tell because you got this nice draw on here. You have the two silvers right here and here, and they're circling the one up here. So you got to take that out right there. So 8mm socket. Okay, so we got that solenoid out right here. Here's the solenoid that was up in that hole up here. So now we're going to take the solenoid and we're gonna put it in here just like that. Just clips in, just like that. That's all it does. Okay? Just clips in there. Now we're gonna take this part, okay? I guess it just stays in there forever. If we're gonna get this up in here like this, and get it around the wires here. And push it right back in, like that, okay? So now what we're gonna do is Mason's gonna get his little fingers up in there. He's gonna put that clip back on here and put that bolt back in. And then we're gonna plug this back in, right here. And then we can put the new filter on and the new pan on. So let's get Mason's little fingers up there and let him get that bracket on. Now you know how that goes, right? That circle goes in here, right there. That clips that in there. So Mason is able to get his hands up in there because he's got little fingers. You know what they say about a man with little fingers, right? Wears little gloves. But the right combination is a short 8mm with a universal with an extension, and then you can get right in here on that bolt, which Zach, I don't know if you can see or not, and you can tighten it right up. So that's tied into the fooler. This thing just sits in there. It just snaps in and it just stays there. It don't clip in, I guess, from what I'm telling you. And then there's enough room to get the plug right here swung back over and plugged back in. So now that is all plugged in, there's enough length here. So it's going to think it's all working, and life will be copacetic. So next what we're going to do is we're going to clean up the gasket because you reuse the pan gasket. They're reusable. And we're going to put the bigger filter on, and we're still going to remove that filter up there. But the Ryan's diesel fuel is in there, so this thing will be running at 230 pounds of pressure on that transmission all the time now. It won't be dropping down to 80, which will be way better for pulling. It'll save on the transmission. So that part was super easy. Now on to the next. Okay. Make sure if you're going to run a deeper pan, okay, that you get the deeper filter to go with it. Because obviously the other one's a lot short. I can't show you it's in the bottom here. But you make sure that the rubber's gone off from here, which I did. I'm going to put a little bit of transmission fluid on that sucker right there, okay? And then you just push it up into place, just like that. And then the pan will finish pushing it right up into place just like that. So that's super simple. And then next we're going to wipe off the gasket. And we're going to put that up underneath here. And we do got to change out this filter, which I guess I might as well do that right now while I'm thinking of it right now. Is we'll, if I can run the oil filter wrench. So there is a magnet in there as well. And there really wasn't much on the magnet. I mean, it's a little bit, but not bad. So take a second, clean off your magnet. Stick your magnet back up in here. We'll wipe all that off, like that. We're gonna wipe off where this can gasket goes. Lower this sucker back down to where we can do some work. That.
You're dripping all over the floor, by the way.
And next we're gonna grab that gasket and get that pan slammed up in there. So here's the pan. Again, these are reusable gaskets. You don't need to replace them. So we just took it off this pan, we wiped it down, we stuck it on this pan. And I did fill the filter. With transmission fluid. There we go. Okay. So now next we need that pan.
Well, I'll make sure that the gasket's all lined up.
Follow that. So snug them all up with this. I'm going to put them on a ratchet and we'll torque them down to the right foot-pounds. And filter's on. I checked the plug. So under here we're done. We're going to, Mason's going to dump the oil and we'll change the filter and get rid of this CarQuest. And then we'll lower it down, fill the engine oil up, and this thing should be ready for hauling. Except for, we do have a front end kit to put on it. I don't know, do you guys want to see us put the front end kit on next? Is that what you want to see next? I have an entire Kryptonite front end to put underneath this thing. Is that what you want?
By
Let me know.
entire, you mean entire.
Huh?
I said by entire, you mean like the entire.
Yeah, I mean like upper A-frames, ball joints, center link, tie rod ends, pitman arm, idler arm, torsion bar mounts, shocks, the whole works. I have a whole front end. So if you guys want to see that next, the next video, just let me know. You know, comment in the old bleep blooper down there, and maybe we'll do that one next. What I'm going to do is I'm going to torque these down, and Mason's going to start getting the oil drain in this sucker.
I pretty much got all the oil on my fingers. You don't want to move that. That thing's going to shoot out the back.
We'll throw the plug in the can, that works too. All this plus more.
You should unthread it. It's gonna sit there and drip forever. Filter. Because this one's stupid and on an angle. The only thing worse than those is when they're burnt. pan tight. Am I going in?
Yeah.
Until you weren't. And you're gonna watch the funnel.
Wow.
Whoa!
And now we're back on the top side. All right, Mason. He's a man, is about as many words as that. So we have replenished the oil, and we've replenished the transmission fluid. The oil took 10 quarts. The transmission fluid took 3.5 gallons, just for reference sakes. Now all we got to do, we have started it up, and we ran it for a minute. We lifted the truck back up. We checked it for leaks. There is zero leaks. So Mason's just going to check the oil here, and if that's good, this job is a success. Go ahead, yank her up. What's it got in it? She full? Oh, look at that. Perfect. Right on the full line. Just what we're after. I know this video ain't quite what the last few have been, where we've been working on, the 55 stuff. But the truck did need a little maintenance, and I really wanted to get that transmission solenoid cooler put in, so we had good line pressure in the transmission. So that all had to happen, and hopefully that helps some of you guys out. Again, this is an L5P, so you can go right on to Ryan's Diesel Service, get that little aluminum blocker cooler thing, and install it. It literally about 30 minutes, and you can install that. And especially you guys who pull a lot, it's very very beneficial for your transmissions.
You just need tiny hands.
Yeah, you just need little hands, little fingers to get in there and get the little 8mm bolt out. So, and then there ain't much else underneath here. We do have this HSP kit, which you can go back and watch that video when we installed all the HSP stuff. And we do have a full kryptonite front end to put underneath this truck. And again, maybe that'll be the next video. I don't know. I still don't even know what plan B and C is going to be for Hot Rod Power Tour. But you guys will be included in that, promise. And I'm just, no matter what, it's probably going to be an Oldsmobile. It'll be an Oldsmobile something. Because, I'm an Oldsmobile junkie. Unless I have to run the old pickup truck. But that's like F on the list. F. Or G. Other than that, I think we're good. Mason learned how to do an oil change on this truck, and how to pull the pan down and change do a transmission service. A little something new for him. And I think that's all we got, right? On to the next video. Thanks a lot. Make sure you share and subscribe. Peace out.